guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we did the day of Gohan. Now we're going to do the day of Cell. Now, unfortunately, I think Cell is not going to be competing with Gohan in terms of how good he is. This is more so just like, kind of like a villain in general problem. It's like things tend to work well for like the movie bosses, you know, like Wicked Bloodline teams. One reason is because they got 3 summonable LRs in 3 months, right? Well, unfortunately, Cell doesn't really have the same treatment by Dokkan. And it's like, while he could put up some pretty numbers, he is not, I don't think, competing with the top units in the game, unfortunately for Cell. If you could transform with him, he's God mode, right? But his base form, I think, is pretty unimpressive. Not really what we needed to see from this Cell. So, in terms of his EZA, I think Cell, this probably actually qualifies as the easiest EZA ever. Because Cell, the weakness for Cell is the KAMEHAMEHA team, right? Which, I mean, as you guys probably know, is only one of the strongest categories in the game, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, because this is an LR EZA, that means we have to use LR characters to activate the legendary power to penetrate, you know, sort of Cell's damage reduction. But, again, you know, Kamehameha, one of the strongest categories in the game, that includes some of the strongest LRs in the game. You just have so many options. The freest free-to-play player ever, the newest player ever could probably do these, right? These are very, very easy. And it's also helped out by the fact that our boy, AGL LR Gohan, I mean, he's probably 1 or 2 best units in the game. I feel like it's a really good discussion, actually. Orange Piccolo versus Gohan. So he's a leader, and he's a good leader. 180% to Kamehameha. Well, I guess you probably want to EZA Cell first, and then use him for the Gohan EZA, but both really should be pretty easy. So let's go ahead and jump in. We are going to disintegrate and decimate. We're going back to 2019 and 2020, by the way. I'm sure that AGL LR Gohan on the friends list is going to be, you know, a common occurrence yet again. We're going back to those times, right, where every single friend we're going to see on the friends list always is going to be AGL LR Gohan. We're just going to see him all over the place. But it'll work good, right? Like, the Kamehameha team is definitely going to be really, really good right now. Gohan is certainly a really strong character, right? With his guard and then his link set and his key and stuff like that, he's just going to work so effectively, right? Where it's just like Cell, like, I will be honest, I don't know why so many people are trying to, like, just say that base Cell is so good. Like, I mean, he could get the 600k defense, man. Yahoo! Yahoo, man. I think that base, like, if we look at their kits, right? So Gohan, they did not change Gohan's transformation condition, right? But Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is the most explosive, ridiculous character, like, in the game, basically. Like, you transform into Super Saiyan 2, you probably won, right? It is still kind of an adventure to get to Super Saiyan 2 with Gohan, right? You need to have either the Android category ally or Android enemy, right? That's got to be turn 5, and it's got to be HP under 58%, unless you have an Android 16. Now, again, they made Super Saiyan 2 Gohan mega busted to compensate. Now, for Cell, and Gohan's base is really good too, right? Guard, stacking, he's got additionals built in. Super strong. Cell, they did buff his transformation condition, right? He now transforms under 40% HP rather than 30% HP the way it was before, which that certainly is good, right? Like, that's very helpful, but I think that's not quite good enough. Considering how sort of unimpressive his base is, I feel like Cell should have gotten the transformation under 50% HP. I think would have been significantly more fair for him. It is good that you don't have an HP restriction. So, I mean, certainly with Cell, You know, like Super Battle Road stages and stuff like that, Cell could, you know, transform turn 1, and then once Cell transforms, he really is that guy once he transforms. He is. Cell transformed is super busted. I love the design they gave him, absolutely. But it's like, again, before he transforms, I just don't like what they did with him. I think an easy way they could have made it better is I think Cell should guard in base exactly the same way Gohan does. I don't see any reason why Cell, you could give him his exact kit, his exact passive, change nothing about him, but just give him guard in his base form. I think that would help things out quite a bit. I know some people could say, well, you want to take damage, right? So you could transform with him. I mean, dude, even if he's got guard, he's going to be taking, like, you're going to take damage. Like, these bosses still hit you. It's just when you're guarding or you have damage reduction or these abilities, the point is you could live, right? It's not a 100% HP to 0, right? Like, you know, you have Tech LR Carnival Goku, you go into the Cell Max fight, you know, most characters take 1,000,000 plus from Cell Max. Carnival Goku is going to take, you know, 400k, but you're still taking a ton of damage. So it's like, I just don't see why they didn't give Cell guard as well. Seems like they, I mean, they just, this isn't like, this certainly is not a situation like Gogeta and Broly, or Goku Black and Zamasu and Trunks and Mai, where Broly and Trunks and Mai are just kind of like meaningless. Like they're not really doing anything, right? Cell is certainly not like that. And no matter what, Cell does have, one of the things I'm always looking for with some of these new characters and powerful EZAs and stuff like that these days, right, is you take a look at like category teams. You know, are these characters buffing like potentially really bad teams? And for Cell, the answer is yes. No matter what, even though I think they should have made him stronger, he's still going to be one of the very best options on many, many teams, right? So that's going to be super good, potentially for the future. We'll see, right? I think the chances are pretty good that Anniversary is going to be, like, have some very powerful villain LRs for the first time since the first Anniversary. So with that potentially being a thing, right, you know, maybe we could get some sort of strong villain setups, but the other thing too is in LR Cell, his link set is kind of like, it sucks, right? Like, it's not what we're looking for. I don't know, man. We'll see. We're gonna do the full world tour. We'll see how impressive Cell can be. I guess we're probably gonna run him on AGL Cell's team. The good news is that Cell kind of needs a slot 1 character. I think we probably could work well with Metal Cooler. I think LR Metal Cooler can kind of work sort of effectively. So I guess let me just get this guy EZA'd. We'll jump into some events and stuff like that, and we'll see how it's gonna go. I want to be fair to Cell. I do think transformed, he's like on par with Orange Piccolo and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and you know, all the top Vegeta and Trunks and Carnival Goku. All these top characters transformed, he is for sure. He is that busted, but in base, I just think he's nothing special, unfortunately. So, all right, let me get him EZA'd, and we'll start today's world tour.